Folks, the 12 days of best ball roll on. It is Wednesday. Today is day 10. We will be wrapping up this marathon sprint of best ball drafts on Friday, but not before today's very special show. I am doing a big dog draft with my friend Rob Coakley. He won a guest spot on the show via his randomizer box, and now we are about to battle it out. Here we go. Rob and Pete in the big dog. Let's do this.
Bro, I'm telling you, hop in these drafts when these idiot streamers are trying to draft and talk to the chat at the same time. It's so plus EV, bro.
Oh no, I think I accidentally just took Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs. What do we call that? A no-no.
No way, you don't have to set your lineup. That's incredible. And recently eclipsed 23%, and I'd much prefer it to be in the more 21 to 22% range.
Rob Coakley, our timing is impeccable. This bad boy fills as the music, the final notes are playing. We are 1-4. You are Rob Coakley. Tell the people, what's your deal, man? Who are you? Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Pete. I'm more thrilled that we got the 4 spot. All my big dog drafts have been 9, 10, 12 spots. So right now I'm just thrilled that we're going to have to argue about Derrick Henry for 14 seconds.
Yeah, real quick. So we do have a mutual friend, Mike Zakarian, who you know from poker. A lot of people watching the stream might know him from Team Hold over in the Top Shot streets. He did send a couple messages over. This one was for round 1. And so I do want to kind of relay this message from Mike.
Rob, I know the Patriots cutting Cam Newton is supposed to be a bump to Damian Harris, but for fuck's sake, man, it's the first round. Relax. You don't have to take him yet.
So Mike did tell me that you might push to take Damian Harris in round 1 as a Patriots fan. So I had to get and kind of nip that in the bud, Rob.
Yeah, I don't know where Mike's getting his information, but that is incorrect. It's at least the second round.
Okay, exactly. Well, I should have had to make a second round video as well. So we have McCaffrey and Cook go off the board. What's your wish list here at 1-4?
It's so tough. I've been doing some Henry stuff because I was light on Henry at 4, but I'm fine with Adams. I'm fine with Kelsey. If we go wide receiver, it's got to be Adams at the 4 for me.
Yeah, those would be my 2 picks. I mean, there is some steam now on Kamara in these rooms, though. I like in the big dog rooms going pass catcher. So yeah, who's your favorite over Adams or Kelsey here?
Let's go Adams.
Let's do it. Yep.
I know everybody's on Kamara, but man, that offense I don't see the efficiency in it. And I'm not cold fading him, but I'm not heavy on Kamara this year.
Yeah. I get it. I definitely agree with the Kamara over Cook take. Like I am on board with that, but I still prefer pass catchers here, and especially in this big dog format. Where when you do go 0 RB, just having those 2 extra roster spots to build out some of those dart throws. And I mean, the one thing we continue to see even in the best ball mania, like the best picks in rounds 16, 17, 18 are still the running backs. And that extends through rounds 19 and 20. So if we're building a strategy where the best possible picks at that time is running backs, I do think that pushes us in a wide receiver heavy direction early. So I love the Adams pick.
Well, we have a little bit of time. Something I've been kind of flirting with. What are you doing at the 10, 11, 12 picks? If Diggs isn't there, for instance, like if one of the big 10, like you don't have Diggs, you don't have Kelsey, you don't have any of the 3 big receivers.
Yeah. So if those 3 or 4 are off the table, I mean, it generally means that there might be a running back that fell. I've been trying to get a little more Aaron Jones, but the most common thing I'm doing is just reaching on Ridley because I think it's kind of a flat tier of the running backs that are there. You know, your Ecklers and Aaron Jones. So my thought is like, I do think Ridley's a little class above that next tier of AJ Brown, DK Metcalf. So just lock up Ridley and then get whatever of the running backs as we see here, the Eckler, the Jonathan Taylor, or Barkley fall. How have you been doing it?
Well, I'm at over 200 teams myself now, so I was doing that a lot, but now I'm reaching a little further, and I'm trying to get unique with like DK and AJ Brown or Gibson with one of those receivers, or just something unique that just other people aren't building with. since we're so far behind already by having that last pick in the first round.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we can't be, Sean talks about this a lot. I mean, we cannot be letting these Christian McCaffrey teams, get DK Metcalf and AJ Brown because we're taking Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon. Like that's when we're completely dead. The only way to combat these is to make sure we're beating them in the flex here with our wide receivers. So this room so far, I do love seeing Nick Chubb go early. I think that is always a nice sign. Gibson goes. So I think we're going to get a wide receiver we like here. Are there any backs or even obviously the tight ends here as well that you like to consider for the big dog?
None of the backs that are there right now really would be anything I'd be interested in. I'd be looking more at, if DK falls to us somehow, then great. But obviously Brown I love too.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Metcalf does go. Always a little bummer. Metcalf. I've been getting those in Best Ball Mania, that Adams Metcalf combo, and man, I always love looking at that start.
Yeah, I got a Diggs Hill combo a couple days ago, which I was shocked to still be able to get at this point. But it is softening up. So
okay, so Brown goes, which stinks. How do you want to play this as far as where you at on like Jefferson and Lamb versus like a Waller or Kittle?
I haven't been in love with Waller, but just the way the tight end's breaking right now, I'm not opposed to it. So if that's something you were looking at doing,
who would you otherwise do here? Jefferson?
It would definitely be Jefferson with the hopes that CD would come around in the third, which I know he won't, but
Okay, yeah, I did put, so my only thought there was it's probably unlikely that both the tight ends make it back. I guess maybe Kittle could. And then this tier, just hoping that we're able to still grab one of CD, Keenan. There is probably a little tier break here to the Terry and A-Rob, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if we end up with one of those guys.
We blew it, man. We were supposed to draft Damian Harris right there.
Oh my goodness. How did we not get Damian Harris?
Mike is going to be so mad.
He's gonna be he tried to tell us where as a zero RB guy, but also a Patriots fan. Well, after we do this pick, I'll get your take on the Patriots backfield. All right, the room is punishing us, of course, for taking the tight end detour there. Hopefully we didn't misplay that. Kittle does go though, so I feel a little vindicated there. Who's your favorite wide receiver?
Robinson's my guy right here over McLaurin. I love Robinson. I think Fields is an NFL quarterback, like top tier, and I think he's going to show it right away. So my most owned quarterback right now is Fields, to be honest.
I love it. Definitely getting, I think the case to draft Fields over Lance is pretty obvious at this point, with kind of the uncertainty with this chip in his finger and giving Shanahan an excuse not to start him right away. I'm with you. I think Fields is going to be awesome. And I think his price point is very nice in these drafts too. And I always love, it sets us up for a very obvious stack with him.
Yeah. And you can always grab Kmet. I mean, I know he's come up a little bit, but I have so much Fields, Kmet, even with the top tight ends, so like, it's just the perfect build when you can get Justin Fields around like round 11, 10, if you're lucky.
Yeah. And there are, I've done those backdoor stacks too. And you can also throw Damian Williams in the mix on those. Who is did you see Perriman just signed with them? I mean, they cut Jazz Newsome. Do you have a favorite third wide receiver flyer there if you are trying to double stack Fields?
I don't have boots on the ground in Chicago, so no, I'm sticking to the like main three, which is just Mooney. I get so much Mooney too, because usually I already have 5 wide receivers, and Mooney, Mecole Hardman, those are spike week guys. Like, I'm not looking for them to put up usually, big weeks every week, because I already have 4 or 5 receivers, and I'm just looking for them on their, 2 touchdown, 120-yard weeks that they're going to be getting.
Yeah. I'm with you. It was like, I think people had sticker shock initially with Mooney's ADP. But I don't know. I think it's justified. I think it's right there in the range. And, it's also why you get excited about Kmet. Like, they don't have a target hog slot receiver, so
Right.
if it's pretty easy to just see or envision A-Rob, Kmet, and Mooney kind of dominating targets in a pretty condensed offense.
Yeah, I'm a little sad about the Damian Williams rise, though. I mean, I was grabbing him a month ago at like round 17, 18 consistently. And then Davis had to open his mouth and start pumping his bags. I'll shout out to Professor Kitchen on
Yeah.
bag pumping 101. But yeah, and now he's like what, round 14 usually?
All right, we're on the clock here. Definitely a wide receiver range. Who's your favorite?
I mean, Ayuk's the clear guy here, right?
Yeah. I'd recently gotten a little spooked with his kind of hamstring injury, but I think he's completely I think he's definitely the pick here, if we remove any concerns about that.
Yeah, my Thielen shares are so low too that I've been trying to get him a little bit, but I'm also starting to think that I just stay underweight on him, like way underweight.
Yeah. FF Doom, you didn't get the memo that his nickname is Jazz Newsome. Come on, man. He got improvised right off the roster, so that's why we call him Jazz Newsome now. Dustin, yes, we are giving a hat away on this stream. This is part of the 12 days of best ball. In fact, now that you remind me, why don't I post the link here? And I even have a model right here to show off this hat. Rob, why don't you give him a little twirl, tell him all about this fine hat.
Well, this is a beautiful black, blue, white Underdog club top shot, one of a kind. I might have been the only one that got it the way I got it, and now you can have one too.
Yeah, you got it before they got pulled, and the only way to get them is through these giveaways. We are going to be on the clock here at 5-4. Once LOL Hot Dogs makes his selection, I always feel like this is one of the kind of, interesting, choose your own adventure spots in these drafts where you could justify a lot of different directions. What are you thinking here?
Well, the only wide receiver on the board at the moment that I take is obviously Odell, but man, those quarterbacks in the 5th round, trying to maybe backdoor stack Murray with Rondell, might be fun too.
What's your lean there? Because again, I think both of those. I think the only thing too is I kind of like going 3. I don't mind going 3 quarterbacks in this one too. I'm a little worried about getting squeezed more at wide receiver. I say we do Odell.
Let's do Odell. I'm fine with Odell.
And there are still rooms where, like Kyler, I mean, actually, he won't fall all the way there, but I just feel like it's far more likely that these quarterbacks fall than these wide receivers.
Yeah, and now that we have our main 4 wide receivers, we can start getting those guys like that we're talking about for spike weeks, which kind of tie breaks for me sometimes. So like if I have Jarvis Landry and even Ruggs next to each other, I know they're a little further apart. I'd rather have Ruggs than Landry with our start that we have right now.
Yeah, I think Ruggs is definitely a priority target with Waller. Obviously, too, if we get pushed toward, if Fields is our first QB or within that range, we might even get a discount on Lance as well now that we have Ayuk. And then Beckham gives us Mayfield. So we kind of have a really nice tiers, right? Where we have like QB stack options at various price points, Fields in the 10th or 11th. And then Beckham, will give us Mayfield in the 14th, 15th. Waller, like you said, with Ruggs would give us Carr late. And we can even still scoop a falling Aaron Rodgers. So I feel like we have a ton of stack potential.
Yeah, I think it's setting up exactly the way that we would like it to set up.
Yeah.
With your Christian McCaffrey builds, I've seen this in every single draft. Not every single draft, but I see CMC getting paired with Waller and either Jefferson or Brown. Like, it feels like 90% of the time. And maybe it's just me. Like I said, I'm over 200 drafts now. But when you see stuff like that, are you starting to like shy away towards those builds a little more? Or do you think you're getting unique enough in the back end?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I do think it is. I always remember the season 2 when people post their hyper fragile, like Christian McCaffrey, CH Mixon, or Christian McCaffrey, CEH. Who's the other one people do? There's like a few of those where everyone gets so excited. It's like literally everyone has that start.
Everyone has it.
So the way I've been thinking about it is I don't mind mixing it up within reason. Like, say instead of, the Keenan Allen, you take your guy, Allen Robinson, knowing like most guys are just going to feel like, oh, I don't want to reach, for Allen Robinson, 3 picks ahead of ADP. But it's like, are Allen Robinson and Keenan Allen's, range of outcomes that different to the point one should have insane ownership with the 101 teams versus Allen Robinson? So I don't think you full galaxy brain it, but I do think it's a consideration, probably more so in Best Ball Mania and the Puppy 3 than a smaller tournament like this.
Right. Yeah. I've been really on course with I've only done 3 big dogs, but it's been a lot more on course than some of the stuff I've been doing the last week in Best Ball Mania. So anyone in the chat that's seen me in Best Ball Mania, just mind your business when you see what I'm doing right now.
Yes. I know it's always fun to experiment and then someone notices you're in the draft. I took one of my only Josh Jacobs shares the other day and immediately got messaged about why I was taking Josh Jacobs. So, let us experiment in the dark of night. Right, Rob?
Yeah. Just leave us alone. Actually, not the stream though. Stay on the stream.
Yeah, leave us alone when we're drafting and not streaming. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna be on the clock here right now. For this build, Javonte Williams looks pretty nice to me. Anything else standing out?
I have so much Javonte. I think it's definitely the play. Just Henderson starting to drop is like. I don't think Sony's going to eat into it as much as people are thinking. That might be a New England bias because he is my least favorite running back of all time. But I'm down for Javonte.
Yeah, let's do Javonte. And like you said, because Henderson is starting to drop, I think there's a small chance, maybe 10% chance that he would continue to fall to us here at pick 76. So I don't mind doing that. If Henderson goes, we're still kind of in this area where I think the running backs are interesting. Trey Sermon would be kind of interesting to pair up with Javonte. I think we could also go the wide receiver route, Sutton, Juju, Williams. This is another one where I feel like you can make a case for a couple directions. Do you have a lean here?
I would love for Chark to get back to us on the next go around, but I've just been grabbing so much of him when it's right, but my lean right now would probably be Fuller out of the 3 that are at the top of the board right now.
Yeah, Fuller is probably like just the best pure pick. Sometimes I get greedy with the ADP game. Fuller goes right there. So geez, we might actually get Henderson here. I assume you're pretty good with Henderson 22 picks after ADP.
Yeah, usually I don't have 2 running backs by now on these type of builds, but if it's going to be Henderson and I already forget who else we took, Williams, then I'm more than fine with it. And then we're just waiting on running back a little bit further than we normally would.
Yeah, it'll put us in a pocket. There are those guys. My ADP brain is all on the Best Ball Mania, the 18 rounds, but there's that crew of guys from like pick 100 to 120. Henderson does go. So I do like Sermon just because we have Ayuk, but then I also think if you like a Juju or a Mike Williams, or if you wanted to just lock up Chark now because it's probably doubtful he comes back, I think that's fine. What are you leaning?
It would be Sermon or Chark for me here, but that's I'm okay with either.
Let's play the ADP game a little bit. It's probably thin that Chark falls, although he in some of these Best Ball Manias, he's really been falling. So I think we give ourselves a shot. And I think even if we miss, we're going to land in a similar tier of guys here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lowell's hot dogs here. Henry, Joe Mixon, CEH, Patrick Mahomes, Miles Sanders, Kenny Golladay, Jarrell Henderson. I like his running backs, Rob. I'm a little concerned about his wide receivers.
Golladay is good enough for all 3 spots, so I think he's golden.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
It's tough. When we always said this. We said this on the ship chasing big dog stream, which you were in that draft. You have found your ways into most of my big dog drafts, because what was the other one you were in? Was it
No,
when I
you
was
found your
streaming?
way. You found your way into my big dog draft the other night. I was telling Pete before the stream that I was so pissed that he ended up in it. I'm like, oh my god, now it's just going to be a wide receiver frenzy. And but it didn't actually alter the draft too much that night.
Yeah. A little bummed to see Darnell Mooney go. I was kind of hoping he would maybe make it back to us for a double stack there.
Yeah, are you seeing this other guy's team? I can't see the name. Labaro or something like that.
Let's see here. What oh yeah. So okay, this is team 9, Jones,
Yeah.
Chubb, Amari, Montgomery, Jacobs, James Robinson, and Landry. Wow.
What are we doing?
I will just say, if you are going to build like this, I wouldn't advise to do it. But if you are, like, Jarvis Landry is the pick to make there compared to, Kenny Golladay as your one wide receiver. We're wondering if he's even going to be able to play week 1. At least Landry is going to give you some wide receiver points to put in your lineup.
Well, that's the reverse of what we were talking about earlier when we were looking for guys that are going to be spike weeks and guys that are just going to be consistently giving you 10 to 12 points every week, right?
Yeah. Totally. Let's see here. Definitely seeing a run of wide receivers. I think that's pretty nice value there on Juju. No, I don't want to enter autopilot mode. But I think we kind of knew we were going to find ourselves in this pocket, and I think there are still some very nice wide receiver picks here in this range.
There's a lot usually in this range that I like. My only problem is I start leaning to the same guys around here. I'm trying to mix it up a little more, but
well, we can use some kind of other variables to help us break ties. Mike Williams goes. I thought he would have been interesting if he kept falling. I've been out on Michael Thomas. Like I can't bring myself to take him. Is there a price you ever take him at?
not anymore. I already don't like the Saints offense to start. I mean, Winston being the quarterback helps, obviously, but we don't know when he's coming back. And even if he gets healthy, it's just a mess in New Orleans with him specifically that there's other stuff I'd rather try to do.
So I'm sitting here and I'm looking. I mean, the two most interesting picks to me are probably Michael Pittman or Marquise Brown, but I'm curious your thoughts.
Well, we know Brown's going to be the number one receiver, maybe not the number one, pass catcher in the offense. So I'm been grabbing him late. What is this, the 8th round?
Late 8th. It's pick 93. His ADP is 95. If you have another name, definitely toss it out here.
No, I think he's the best receiver that's on the board right now. I mean, personally.
Yep. Yeah, he returned to practice as well today. I saw the photo of that. That was kind of only my concern with Brown, is he hadn't been practicing a lot. I think he's slightly undervalued here, assuming he's fully healthy, especially with Bateman now missing the first part of the season. I think Brown is going to be just fine in this offense, and dare I say, the perfect best ball pick, Rob.
I'd say for this build especially, it's the perfect best ball pick. He's our what, 5th receiver? So
yeah. Here's a question for you. If Rogers were to fall, it's kind of shocking to me that Rogers has flipped Herbert in ADP in this big dog room. Would you be interested in Rogers to stack with Adams at pick 100?
I don't hate it. The only problem with that is I would still want to try to get Fields at some point.
Yep.
And I don't know if you're comfortable getting 2 quarterbacks within, probably 3 or 4 rounds.
I'm comfortable with that because it means we don't have to take 3, which gives us an extra roster spot to play with. This is kind of a tough decision because I know there's other guys we like here. You mentioned Ruggs, who's also, I think, in play as well, just kind of for this build. So I think it's completely fine to wait on quarterback if we do want to prioritize one more wide receiver in this range. You're kind of just looking at that 2v2 probably of like a Rodgers, Gabe Davis versus like a Ruggs, and then I don't know, you actually probably go somewhere else, or the Fields would probably be it. So I don't know. What do you think here?
Well, we took Adams 4th overall. So
yeah.
So if we get an Adams Rodgers stack, it might be more unique than anything else in the big dog, especially with how, running back heavy it's been for most of the drafts that I've seen other than the one ship chasing one. So I don't
Yeah.
absolutely hate it. I think it would be very unique to the field. So I'm fine with it, but I also like Ruggs. So
Yeah, it is a little, I mean, with Herbert still on the board. All right. I feel like we should grab a wide receiver here. I'm making like the very last second decision.
all right, let's grab Ruggs.
Oh, I did get him. My cue didn't go quick enough. There you
Man.
go. That's how it's meant to be.
We just won. That's how we win. Mistakes.
mistakes. The last second decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my last second thing was just like we have a little when you have QB cover in Herbert, where I still assume kind of the room is going to take Herbert over him. I think there was a chance that Rogers falls back, but I also think there's a nice little pocket of wide receivers here that we're still gonna like a selection.
Yeah, I mean, we got Ruggs, we got Emmanuel Sanders, who I really like. I mean, Jacoby Myers, you guys like for some reason.
Please don't lump me in with Pat and Gretch. I'm kind of trying to keep the Jacoby Myers love at an arm's distance from me.
It's like boots on the ground situation. Jacoby Myers is just okay.
Yes.
Like he's just okay. He gets the bump with Mac Jones, but he's not this world beater he's getting made out to be sometimes on some shows. You should see his camp notes from like last year. It was brutal.
Okay, so you're grinding the camp notes. That's what level of Patriots fan I'm dealing with right here.
Well, I mean, I grind him to an extent. I got into that argument with Gretsch real quick on that other big dog draft over Kenneth Gainwell because he's like, oh, can't draft Kenneth Gainwell. It was the second day of camp. Mac Jones was still number 50 at camp. Like, Gainwell was I don't even remember what round he was drafted in, but he was going to have to earn his spot. He was going to start at the back of the depth chart and have to work his way up. So, like, everyone that, like, was, like, going overboard on the Gainwell stuff was starting to, like, become nauseating too. So
yeah, no, I get that. Johnny says he's coming up on $1,000 on Underdog. Is there any other way for me to get the most expensive hat I've ever owned? No, I'm going to post the form once more, and we will do the drawing toward the end of the show. Final call to fill out the form here to win an Underdog hat. But it's not $1,000 for a hat, John. You have $1,000 in team equity, unless you've just punted it all off, in which case you don't think your teams are live.
Unless he's the guy that drafted who did I see go in the second round earlier today? Mac Jones in the 9th and James Robinson in the 2nd.
Okay.
That's what I saw earlier today.
Was that a Best Ball Mania?
I actually jumped back on DK for the first time in a week and a half, and let me tell you, boy, that was the best team I've ever drafted in my life.
Really?
I'm pretty excited about it.
There you go.
After our next 2 picks, do we want to tease the other giveaway?
I think we should. So again, kind of having to debate how to play this here. A lot of quarterbacks on the board. I assume we start to see a run here.
Mm-hmm.
Although with Rogers, I don't know if we should reach for Fields just to lock it up per se, but I don't know. I also think we could take a wide receiver here because these continue to get picked off. What are you feeling? I mean, there is Edwards there. We didn't get Ruggs, but Edwards could be the play to get that Raiders stack still going.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you wanted to do Edwards. I didn't really see who else is there. I mean, I like Aguilar more than I like Jacoby Myers right now.
Yeah.
But I think Edwards just has some like crazy upside that he could break the mold for this round anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've been enjoying taking stabs on both Ruggs and Edwards, and just already having Waller on this team and having a ton of quarterback coverage here and having just taken Rogers. I think getting another wide receiver there makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely like covers us if we can't get Fields where we want to get them, because then we can start, wondering when we're going to grab Carr later. But
right. That is the other thing. And I mean, Carr's not a guy that you have to, go out of your way to get, especially if we're done here at QB. It's still fine having, a pocket passer and his weapons naked or whatever in this build. So I'm not too worried about it. Lance does go. here at pick 119. I'm curious to see what's okay, going to the Kittle owner, which makes sense. Getting a little bit of a discount since the injury. I don't know if it's enough of a discount, to be honest, right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen him drop real far based on the injury, so I'm not like jumping out of my skin to get him where he's falling to.
So Justin Fields does go to the Dak Prescott owner, which and unstacked, which I'm not tilting, but doesn't make much sense to me whatsoever.
Gotta do it.
But we will push forward, and I think at this point, I don't think a quarterback makes sense here. I think the pocket of the draft is probably looking at running back or wide receiver.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think of Pollard here?
I like Pollard. He's been one of my favorite selections. I like both him and James Conner, who I normally take here. And they are both here. It sounds like you're a Pollard guy, which I definitely like.
I like Pollard, especially with the extra 2 rounds, because maybe we even grab 2 of the pass catching backs later if things fall right. And Pollard's our first, second round pick if Zeke goes down. So
yep, I agree. I definitely agree here.
All right. So
yeah, no, he's not. That's a bad pick unstacked with Dak. Like once you've used that kind of capital on Dak, you have to use that as a gift to punt QB2 further down the road, unless you have just an insane stack option with it. Then I kind of get it. I don't get it with the Dak pick and unstacked. I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think with the Dak pick, it's just there's so much other things you need to be getting right now.
Yeah.
But we also saw guys take 14 running backs in the first 3 rounds. So
win secondary market for UD hats. I don't know. You're going to have to ask the hat owners if they're selling. I mean, Rob seems like he has diamond head over there.
Yeah, I don't know if my dog will allow me to get rid of this hat, so I apologize.
Yeah, so your dog is now famous. The model on the thumbnail here. You mentioned though you have another giveaway. You're done. You're not done giving stuff away. Why don't you let people know what you're thinking?
Well, do we want to say exactly what it is, or do we want to give some teases, see if someone can guess it?
I don't know if people are going to be able to guess it, but actually this is a good segue. Mike did have another message for you for this next pick that I do need to share with you right now.
Rob, I know you're on the clock. I can't stress this enough. Just because you have an autographed jersey or helmet of this player, it doesn't up their fantasy value, okay? That's not a reason to pick.
This is I didn't know this about you, but it would appear that you're a huge memorabilia collector.
Yeah, I got the wall behind me, all the shelves. Got some autographed helmets there. Brady, Mahomes, Montana and Rice, Peyton Manning. I got a Kyler down there. Jim Brown up top. Just a couple of them.
I love it. You were ready for stream, and I feel like you already even have like a streamer setup. You even have the faux brick wall there as well.
I just did this for your stream specifically. I'm building a little thing in the other room right now for something that I'm working on in the next month. But yeah, I was like, got to throw the helmets in if we're doing a big dog draft, right?
That's right. You know what I'm utilizing? I'm utilizing the private chat to mention a name that I don't necessarily want to continue to tease. But I'm curious what your thoughts on that just with this build.
Yeah, dude, if you want to grab Evan Ingram, I'm all for it.
There we go. The red herring is out there. I do think right now, just positionally, we have a lot of flexibility with a higher end quarterback, the high end tight end. We're fine at running back pace right now. To me, the pick is get our secondary stack with Rogers. We've already continued to make big bets on this offense. What do you think about MVS?
I think he's the clear pick right now.
Yep.
It looks like this room has gone the opposite of a ship chasing room, and it looks like it's gone pretty running back heavy. So we might have to wait a little more to get some more of those guys.
Yeah, we did see a little bit of a run here, and it did make sense, the ADP pocket, that there would be a ton of those quarterbacks and running backs going off the board there. I think MVS was the obvious pick for us. I love getting to 7 wide receivers. I love getting the premium double stack with Rogers. This next pick will be interesting. Nothing absolutely screaming at me per se. But I think there's a few different directions we could go in. What are you seeing on this board right now?
A lot of stuff I don't like. Can we see the wide receiver? Like
Yeah.
what is left?
Because I would say in this build, I mean, I think what we're probably looking at, still probably looking at 9 wide receivers ideally.
Well, with the 20 rounds, yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yep. So we have 2 more kind of wide receiver picks to play with. One option would be to, like, if we're making a bet on these Ravens pass catchers, Watkins was also back at practice today. I think that would be
Yeah.
a decent pick. I mean, Crowder goes off the board. He would have been the other guy.
Yeah, that's what I put in the chat. So
Crowder.
Of course you want.
Yeah, I know. Crowder's always nice with that backdoor stack. I still like Christian Kirk more than the field as well. I don't know how you feel about Kenyon Drake. He's starting to slip a little bit here, and we've been betting on the Raiders. Kind of a gross tier here.
Yeah, but how much do we want to stack the Raiders?
Yeah.
Like, not that I hate what we have already, but do we want to add Kenyon Drake to Waller and Brian Edwards? Like, I mean, for the right price.
Watkins does go. To me, I'm thinking we probably either just take the Drake value. We've made a big bet on the Raiders, or we grab Christian Kirk or something.
I say we grab Drake.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think Kirk makes a ton of sense right now.
Let's do Drake. We will rock with the Raiders. I think it also even more so solidifies Derek Carr as a target here.
Yeah. This is when it starts to get a little gross. I do know who I want if it comes back around, though.
Okay. Yeah. Type it in the chat here. Yeah. I saw him as well. I think that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I want one of that from that position, at least, probably one more from that position on these next 2 picks that we have coming up.
Yes. Let's see the board here. Yeah, and I guess one other kind of interesting thing to see, Rogers really puts you in the spot where, like, if you're Rogers Carr, I think you could push it and go 2 with those guys. How comfortable are you going 2 with Rogers when 1 is late?
Well, we don't have any other rushing upside left at the position, so I mean, to me, it's just Carr is the only guy that makes sense for our team other than Mayfield right now.
Yeah. I mean, I do kind of like Mayfield if the other guy you put in the chat isn't around.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Let's see here. AJ Green finally goes off the board. I just can't bring myself to draft AJ Green.
Yeah, that's a good idea too, to double that up that you just sent. Very riveting for the stream.
Damian Williams was the guy we were kind of looking at here, grabbing another bear. That does not work out. Cole Kmet went as well. So other than a late stab on one of these Bears wide receivers, we're probably done with Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine you pounding the table for Leonard Fournette, so I don't have to worry about talking you out of that, do I?
No, I mean, come on. I mean, do you see my hat? I mean, that should tell you enough. It's probably Mayfield, right?
Yeah. I think it's Mayfield. I think that makes sense and allows us to be Nico Collins. I think it allows us to be done at quarterback 2. They do have the same bye week. Does that
I'm okay with it, and we'll see
we
what happens in the
we could
draft.
still grab a third one really late if we're worried about sacrificing those points.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like if you can get somebody in round 20, then cool.
Bye week Twitter. Team week 13 is
coming?
just they're coming for us. Hide.
They coming for us?
They're coming. Oh my goodness. They're going to be so upset when they see this. There's so many teams I want to post. And then I'm like, I don't know if I can handle bye week Twitter right now. I just don't know if I have it in me to deal with them. They're vicious. They're absolutely vicious.
Yeah. I think Baker allows us to do a few other things too. I just kind of sent one over in the chat.
Yep. For sure. I think that would be a good plan as well. 4 picks away here. Wide receiver just really getting decimated, but I think there's a guy we might like here.
Yeah. Rashad Perriman. The Detroit Lions.
Look at Underdog. Already got it updated, or haven't got it updated yet. We need to get that updated. So with how wiped out wide receiver is, and because I don't want to, will Lil's hot dog really take our guy if I say him out loud here? He's on maybe a slight stream delay. He's watching. What do you think about just right now grabbing Donovan Peoples-Jones?
Let's do it. Let's get that double stack.
I think the double stack is nice. Now we have the double stack.
Man. That's another week 13 bye.
I know.
I hear them coming. They're coming. They're pounding outside. They got the pitchforks.
Here's the thing. We're gonna get our other late quarterback. We don't have any other 13 buys at running back and tight end. We're going to be fine, Twitter. We're going to be fine. We have Brandon Ayuk. We have Marquise Brown. We have Brian Edwards. We have Allen Robinson. I mean, we're fine. We're fine.
They upset my dog. He was so mad. Let's see if we can show him.
Uh-oh. What's your dog's name?
Gotham.
Gotham.
Say hi. Yeah.
Hi, Gotham. He is not impressed.
No, he went to daycare today, so he was wiped out.
It sounds like it.
Yes.
Long day, and he had his modeling shoot, for the Underdog hat. So he's an influencer who's wiped out. I mean, I get it.
I thought Rudman would give us the one-on-one with that picture, but here we are at the 4 slot.
You know what? We didn't get the 101. I'm just thankful that it filled right as we were starting. I mean, the most painful thing would be if I had to, rally the troops for a half an hour to fill a draft.
Just pounding the table for that.
Yeah. Let's see here. I really like this team, and I think we've kind of maximized the value at our specific points in the draft while still being able to build in those nice double stacks.
Yeah, I think we need to start looking at we got to get our second tight end, but I definitely think we need to start looking at the running backs in these last few rounds to see what we can scoop up.
And this is kind of how we knew it would go too, where we kind of wanted to be taking more running back darts in this stretch because there's lots of intriguing names to me here still available.
I like Young Man Coffee's strategy of going 0 tight end so far.
Let's see this. Young Man Coffee from the 12 hole has yet to draft a tight. Okay, he does finally take Adam Troutman, but I think that could mean he still hasn't drafted a tight end.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough build. Although that was kind of my problem in the first big dog. I locked myself out of tight end.
What 3 did you end up with?
I know Troutman was one of them. I think it was Troutman, Cook, but I did end up with 3. Yeah, so I can at least get 4 points a week.
Yeah, I think as long as you get 3, I think it's fine. I mean, the tight ends outside of the elite ones are going to be scoring what, 7-8 points a week anyways. You know, get yourself 3 cracks at it each week with some of those guys. So I don't know. I don't mind punting tight end. I haven't ended up doing it a ton just because I end up like using that roster spot elsewhere. But I don't mind. I was Hooper goes, which stinks.
Yeah, that was kind of the game plan, but
I think still with Waller though, we can still even push it even more if we want. If we head over, I'll just query here for running back and tight end because that's primarily where we're at right now. What's jumping out to you?
God, I hate saying it, but Lindsey still there right now. Just it just feels like the play. It feels like he's probably going to be taking the 3 touches a game for the Texans. But
I still like Lindsey. I know it's gross. I know they're going to be in negative game scripts. I know they're keeping 5 running backs on the roster, but I think he is pretty easily the best rusher on the team. And I think he's going to get, 15 touches a game. And I think that's pretty much worth it at this cost here.
I mean, he just slid far enough that he was definitely the play right there.
Yep.
Gives us a little bit of little flexibility with our running backs, but he'll get touches is the point.
Yeah, so we have 4 more picks, 1 more quarterback, at least 1 more tight end, 1 more wide receiver, and 1 more running back. I think go around the horn, 1 of each position to wrap up.
Yeah, possibly. How many wide receivers do we end up with right now?
We're at 8 right now.
Yeah. Well, we would like 1 more.
Yeah, so that's the only other consideration. We do have that running back target. Quarterback we can take very late unless there's someone we do want to prioritize here. I mean, if Zach Wilson is here, I think Zach Wilson has even if he's unstacked, has a nice amount of upside at that cost.
I mean, he's starting week 1. They're going to be in negative game scripts, like you were just saying, and they're going to be throwing the ball all the time. And who cares about interceptions? We're just trying to get him to push the ball downfield.
The other option too, though, is if we talked about this before, we already made the huge bet. We could just grab Derek Carr as well to get that. We already have that double stack there.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the only 2 that I would like to get here, but.
So Chuba does go. He was another guy.
Oh my God. I was just trying to just not talk about him because that's all I wanted right there.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, let's I think we lock up Carr as our 3rd quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's the smart play.
Yep. We have a pretty big investment on the Raiders here. Wilson goes, so that even makes it easy. We lock up Carr. We are done at QB. I think we are, running back, wide receiver, tight end to wrap this up. And again, pretty nice to get 3 sets of double stacks.
It works out nicely, and I just haven't done really many 3 quarterback builds, so it's kind of throwing me a little bit, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, in a perfect world, those guys don't have the same bye week, and you get that extra spot. But I do think the 3 quarterbacks, not only does it prevent us from, giving up that 20 points in week 13, it also, I think, just in general raises our floor. It probably, hurts our chances at first place overall, just the tiniest bit, but I do think it probably elevates our chances to advance out of this 12-team group.
Yeah, and it also plays into the giveaway. So
there you go. Speaking of which, I will start to get the wheel of names set up here for the hat. Why don't you tease a little bit more this other giveaway? What do people need to do to be in touch with this?
All right. Well, if I get 20 follows, we'll say, by the end of the stream, we'll do this giveaway. And I'll have Pete do it so that it's, legit and on the level. And we can do another wheel.
Okay. Do you
And
want to tell the people what it is?
so it's not going to come with the frame because I'm not shipping a frame. But if I get the 20, I will give away this signed Kurt Warner jersey.
Dude,
I'll
that
ship
is
it out to you guys.
that is badass. So Rob's Twitter handle is linked in the show notes right down below me right here. Go follow Rob on Twitter. And if he do you know how many followers you have right now?
I think we're gonna get the 20. It's already happening.
Yeah. There you go, Rob. That's how you do it.
Yeah. So give me the 20 follows, and we will give away the jersey.
There you go. So are you good to just draw another name on the wheel?
Yeah, let's do it that way. Just to make it easy.
So yeah, so if you guys, all right, I'm going to do the form one more time because I know there are some of you that have already won hats that have been not putting your name in because you're nice people. I'm going to post this one more time. Make sure you're following Rob. I will check and make sure you're following Rob, and do not double post your name. If I catch you trying to submit your name twice, I will remove you from all future things. So this is the final call. If you haven't already submitted, if you submitted earlier for the hat, you're good. You're eligible for the jersey as well. Let's make sure we don't get timed out on anything. We are going to head back to our draft board here. Let's take a just peek at the tight ends too, and see how this is looking. I think there's a lot of these as far as Parham, Croft. I think those guys would jump out to me. Are there any wide receivers, running backs that you think round things out nicely?
What are your thoughts on, like just it's Darrell Williams, right? I know he has the concussion, but
yeah, I mean, my only thing with them releasing Darwin Thompson, it seems like Clyde Edwards-Hilaire is completely fine. But I don't mind Darrell in this build at all.
Yeah, I think he's the perfect bookend for our running backs.
Let's do it. Get a little piece of that KC offense, and then we can do a tight end and a quarterback here to finish up.
We can't do a quarterback, sir.
What did I say?
I think you said do a tight end and yeah.
Oh, oops. No. I promise. I will not make you do a 4 QB build. I would never.
I would die immediately. I'm pretty pissed that my shirt didn't get here today, by the way.
What was your shirt?
I sent you a picture of it.
Oh, yes.
And it was supposed to be rush delivered, and it didn't get here. So,
tell the people what it said again. I can pull up a photo of it.
I think it said Davis will never be a piss boy, and then it said Ben Gretsch, and then Rob Coakley, sort of like the play on the Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky thing.
There you go. Well, once you get it, you'll have to post a photo of it to all of your new followers here, Rob.
Yeah.
Rob is a fun follow. This isn't just a cash grab, Twitter follower grab giveaway here. You guys will enjoy following Rob. My favorite genre of Rob tweet is when you ask Mike Zakarian when you're getting the invite to be in his wedding party.
Yeah, when I'm going to be his best man. So, Mike, Kelsey, you can override him. When am I getting my best man invitation here?
All right, we are on the board here. I don't know. I Croft does go. Parham, I think is my favorite late round tight end. Do you have someone else?
But at this point, I'm either grabbing Parham or Arnold. So, if you like Parham, we can go there. But
I think Parham is just. I think Arnold is going to give you like a higher, week to week floor. But Parham could just be the absolute smash if Cook is done or gets hurt or is just dust.
Completely dusted off, yeah.
And then for our final wide receiver, this is like the island of, misfit toys who we were drafting all summer and now learned aren't as attractive as they once were.
Yeah, which one of these guys isn't cut?
Yeah, seriously. Colin Johnson. Some ideas here. I mean, I honestly don't hate like the Perriman thing with him on the Bears now, but it's gross. Amari Rogers, if we
Yeah, I
want to
was just
just
gonna
kind of super
say.
stack that.
I mean, I think we go Rogers.
And we got my guy, Flight Conley, as well. We already have a Houston Texan. I think Conley's going to be on the field as they're in their 3 wide receiver sets. I think he's viable as well.
Is it legal to draft more than one Houston Texan though? I
I
think it.
I do think this team will have to be uploaded to the dark web. It isn't otherwise allowed to be. The authorities will come after us.
Yeah, it is. It's almost as big a crime as talking about your best ball team starting next Friday.
It's crazy. It's crazy how close we are to all of our best ball teams going in the vault. Although, if I had to read between the tea leaves, I think Underdog is going to have a lot of in-season best ball tournaments for us this year. So they might make it hard not to talk about best ball during the season.
That's true. And I think after the season, I have that other show I was telling you about coming up.
Yeah,
And I
tell the
think
people about this.
so it's just basically going to be. It's got nothing to do with this genre, but it's going to be like a real ghost stories YouTube show / podcast. And when the season's over, I think you should come on and we can talk about the ghost of our dead best ball teams.
I love it. I would be happy to do that. Right now, I'm going through these entries, and you know what? I'm not going to call you guys out, but those of you who submitted twice, I'm just deleting both of your entries. So that's how it goes. I mean, at least just have some respect there. So if you tried to game the system, you now have 0 entries. So that's how it works. Hopefully, Rob, you don't mind me ruling with an iron fist like that on your giveaway.
I'm just wondering when you're going to pull the police head out of the prop bag.
I should.
Get a gavel. You need a gavel.
Yeah. Let's see here. They know who they are, and they know that their name won't be coming up on the wheel. But I could dox them. I have their emails now too, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just removing them. They can't win the jersey. They can't win the hat. Final pick here. I believe we are on board with Amari Rogers if he's here.
Yeah, it seems like the logical pick for our team. Unless we want to get wild and just scroll down real quick.
we could get wild. I'm just gonna put Rogers in the queue, and then if we have a last second change of heart, we can. I mean, Khalif Raymond, who held off Paravit for the roster. I think Rogers is the pick.
Yeah, it's definitely Rogers. This is.
Yeah.
Speaking of ghosts.
Raysif points out that Mitch Trubisky just went to wow. Okay, now this is a strategy. So not only are you taking,
did we handcuff Allen? Did somebody
handcuffed Allen?
Oh.
But didn't take a third QB. So he's taking the 0 week 7, but making the bet that all he needs is one single Buffalo QB all season long.
It's a thing. It's something.
It is a thing. This is what we're going to do. We're going to recap our team here. We're going to do the giveaway. And because Den politely asked, he's out of the 10 hole. He wants a little sauce there as well. But before we do that, Rob, why don't you recap our team here? Let me get it pulled back up. I got to name this team Big Dog Rob, so we don't forget that this is our team. Again, congratulations to Rob, friend of the show, Randomizer Box owner, won the guest spot on the show. He could have elected to do a randomizer draft. We talked it out. We decided doing a big dog draft would better suit our style. But had a blast with you today, Rob. Run down this team. Tell the people how you're feeling.
All right, we went with a 3 quarterback build, which is not normal for either of us, but we got Rodgers, Mayfield, and Carr. Our running backs, we went with Javonte Williams, Sermon, really hoping that they break out from their platoons. And then we got Pollard, Drake, Lindsey, Williams. Would have liked one of the pass-catching backs in there, but it just didn't work out. And for wide receiver, we got Adams, Robinson, Ayuk, Beckham, Hollywood, Brian Edwards, MVS, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Amari Rogers. So a lot of stacking, which is, I think, going to be great, especially in the big dog draft, because I don't see it quite as much in this one as I do like the best ball mania stuff. And wrap up with Waller as our tight end, and Parham might do something maybe.
Yeah. I really like this team. As you said, made some really big concentrated bets on Green Bay, Cleveland, and Las Vegas. I do agree with you in general with a pure zero RB build like this. You'd like to have one of the high floor pass catching backs, but getting both Javonte Williams and Trey Sermon, I think Trey Sermon could just get off to a fast start right away. And I also think Philip Lindsay could buoy us early with some scores as we kind of wait for something to break our way with Javonte or Pollard. And then if one of those breaks our way in a big way, I think we're really cooking. And I love our wide receivers. I thought we played it pretty well there. And I'm glad in retrospect too that we did do the Odell over Kyler.
Yeah, I think that was the right play. I don't know how easy it would have been for us to get more for the stack. Honestly, it was the mistake I made in the first big dog draft. I took Kyler and I just was not able to get Rondell where I wanted to get him, and I ended up only stacking him with I think AJ Green, but it is what it is.
Guys, there were so many. Everyone wants to get sauced. I gotta get going, but I did promise Den the sauce. It's funny because there's like 12 people. There's 12 teams in this draft. One is ours. 4 people are watching and asked to get sauce, and the other teams that aren't watching, we already roasted for their picks. So everyone is accounted for.
Those other teams are still trying to draft running backs right now.
All right, let me see what Den's working with. Kyler and Matt Ryan. That's a good pairing. Carson, Mike Davis, Connor, James White, Gainwell. We got an 11 wide receiver build here. Hill, Hopkins, Hardman, Williams, Gage, Ruggs, Kirk, Robinson, Humphreys, Juwan Johnson, Keelan Cole, Kyle Pitts, Jared Cook. So I like your quarterback room. I like your tight end room. I think you probably overdid it just like a teeny bit on wide receiver. I'd rather kind of just rebalance it to where you swap out the Mike Davis pick for a wide receiver and then go a couple more cheaper running backs is probably how I would play this build. What do you think, Rob?
I don't like the entire Atlanta stack. I mean, Gage is probably Davis for sure I wouldn't have done if I was planning on stacking Gage with Pitts, but I don't know. That's just not it might be unique though, because I don't know anyone else that would go that heavy on Atlanta.
Yeah, this is it's like an interesting texture of running backs because it's like living in with the Carson and Mike Davis there. The only other thing too is I feel like in these drafts, Carson and Mike Davis are often the guys that the room doesn't like, and that will fall 10 picks after ADP. So I don't necessarily like reaching on those guys. I'd rather them be guys that come to me. And then I don't know. I like Juwan Johnson. I mean, he's not a guy that I'm targeting, but we're talking about pick 226. So, but trust me, you just pound in wide receiver. I in general do love to see that. All right, let me get the names up on the wheel here. Make sure you guys are following Rob. The link is down below. I will be back tomorrow.
19. I got 19. Oh, never mind. I got 47 follows.
I was like, Rob, I was like, come on. Come on. I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'm doing a couple shows. I'm doing at 1:30. I'm going to draft with my friend Stal Stefanile, and he made me order hot chips, these ghost pepper chips, Rob. And I have to draft while eating these. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Also, we're going to have Silva on the Randomizer show tomorrow evening. That is going to be a wild time. And mention your YouTube show that you're doing again while I get this wheel up.
Just follow me on Twitter. I don't want to give the name away yet because I don't want it to get hijacked in any fashion.
Ooh, okay.
And it'll be out and probably got the first episode under construction right now. I got a couple scripts written out. I want to have 4 shows put together before we put it out, but it'll be fun, especially with Halloween coming up.
All right. I'm going to shuffle this up a few times. Good luck to everyone. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today, watching Rob and I draft.
Which one is this for? Is this for the hat?
This is for the hat, and then we can do yours. Dustin Norton was asking about the hat at the top of the show, I believe.
meant to be.
There you go, Dustin. Congratulations. I will email you with a link. And Rob, so we are going to draw, but I guess it's going to be kind of hard. I want to verify that whoever wins is following you on Twitter. So we might have to do a quick background check.
Well, they're gonna have to DM me their address anyways, so that's a way I can check.
There you go. They're gonna have to DM, so that's gonna be the ultimate there. And I'll send you their email, Rob, as well, to get in contact if we need. Who won it here? Standish or Lowell? It's gonna be close. Lowell. Congratulations, Lowell. Assuming I have your permission, I will put you in contact with Rob or shoot him a DM. I do have Lowell's email if we need. Rob, this was an absolute blast, man. I'm so glad we got to rip a big dog draft together.
Yeah, let's get some more big dog drafts going, guys. It's been a little hard to fill them, so I'm probably only doing one more myself, like on Monday, I'm guessing. But yeah, let's get some more big dogs out there.
Yeah, I think I have 2 more in me. I initially, my lofty goal was to get to 10. I think now I'm at 3 solo, did 1 with you, did 1 with Gretch and the ship chasing crew. Obviously I want to get to 5 on my own. So I think I'm going to do 2 more, but I would prefer not to be in a draft with you, Rob. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, let's I don't want to get on one of the stream ones. I want it to be a nice peaceful big dog where I don't have to worry about, all the wide receivers gone by the middle of the first round.
There you go. Ivan has just become a deposit king to get in the big dog streets. If you guys haven't gotten in the Underdog best ball streets, you can get $25 with promo code Pete. I honestly don't know how long this offer is going to last. I believe it's probably going to go away at some point once the season starts. So if you want to get that free, sweet $25 from Underdog, sign up now, promo code Pete. Minimum deposit's only $10, and you're getting 25 free in your account. And you can also get a randomizer box like Rob. That's how we ended up on this show. Although now knowing what a cool, chill, smart drafter he is, I would just have Rob come on to draft a team anyways. But that's how you got on the show, Rob. Any final words here as we close this bad boy down?
No, it's a ton of fun. Hoping to maybe we can do a main event draft next year. And just party on.
That's right. Again, thanks to Rob. His Twitter is down below. Give him a follow. I will be back tonight. We are drafting on Ship Chasing, a main event team, as Rob just referenced there, with Gretch, with Sean Siegel, and of course, Pat Crane. That will be a ton of fun. I guarantee we will draft a team that Twitter will hate, and that is all that matters. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 11 of the 12 Days of Best Ball.